What's up, guys? Welcome back to Xbox Reforged. And yesterday, Xbox had their Direct for January 2025, and this was a strong Direct, and overall it seemed like a pretty positive reaction from everybody on it. And I think mostly 3 out of 4 of the games, at least, people are really interested in. And we also got a really good Shadow Drop, and we haven't even talked about Avowed, which is coming out here in February. I think Microsoft and Xbox actually have a pretty solid lineup for the first half of 2025, and we'll have to see what they have for the second half, but it's looking like a decent year, maybe one of their better ones in a little while. So let's go ahead and get into it. We'll talk about it a little bit. So yesterday's Direct started off with Ninja Gaiden 4, which looks really great, and that's a fall 2025, so it doesn't really fall in the first half of the year, but it was a nice way to start the show, and a lot of people are really excited to see that Platinum Games and Team Ninja have been working on this. But I think one of the bigger surprises for me during that was the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black drop on Game Pass. So you can play this on Game Pass on PC or on console. You could purchase it, you could buy it on Steam, or you can stream it on Xbox Cloud Gaming, which we'll have a video for as well at 60 FPS. So it's actually running pretty good there too. But yeah, the shadow drop of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black was great to see, and I've already jumped in and started playing, and it'll definitely get people's feet wet while they wait for Ninja Gaiden 4. So that's a pretty solid shadow drop right before Avowed. And we got some South of Midnight, and this is coming out in April, so 2 months after Avowed. And I know a lot of people have their reservations about this game, and I do as well. I don't know if the game itself is going to be good or not, and we'll have to see when it comes out. However, the art style for me really does hit, especially when we're talking about that southern bayou type thing. And I lived in Louisiana for a while, and Texas, and in the South, and I don't know, I like the vibe, I like the feel here. And I also grew up in a time of a lot of like stop motion type shows, cartoons, things like that. So I actually really dig the art style and the way this looks. I know it's a turnoff for some people, but I like it. So we'll just have to see what happens when it comes down to the gameplay and the story for this one when it launches. Now, one I've been excited about since last year when they showed it was Expedition 33. This is an RPG coming to Xbox players in April as well. 2 pretty big launches there in April. And Expedition 33 looks like it has a lot of potential, especially when it comes down to the combat. We'll have to see what the story's like. I know there's some elements in this game that it looks like some people may not be interested in, but it looks overall like a good game, and I can't wait to check it out. But the true star of the show during the Direct was Doom: The Dark Ages, and they really took some time to tell you about this game and to show you some actual gameplay and how this is going to work. And I really like the idea that this is going back more as a prequel before the Doom 2016, and it's also changing the style of gameplay a bit again. So as you were kind of a more light jump around shooter, as they call a fighter jet in Doom Eternal, this is a more grounded tank kind of experience where you're going to hold your ground and fight with your shield, your guns, your melee weapons. And I love the look of this Doom. This looks like it could be one of the best Dooms that they've come up with, at least in a long time. So I'm really interested in this one. This is May. So we have a lot of games coming out here the first of the year, right? So we've got Avowed coming out in a couple of weeks at time of making this video. We've got the shadow drop of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black that just landed. We've got 2 games in April with South of Midnight and the Expedition 33. And then a month after that, right in May, we're going to get Doom: The Dark Ages right before we get the summer events in June and July, which will tell us what we're getting for the rest of the year. So if you ask me, anyway, as an Xbox fan and us here at Xbox Reforged, this is probably one of the stronger lineups that we've really seen for the first half of the year in a while. And with today's Shadow Drop and these other games coming all the way up until May, it's actually pretty exciting to jump in and play some of these games coming from Xbox. Now, we'll have to see if the second half of 2025 turns out as good as what it looks like the first half of 2025 is going to be like. But if they can pull that off and it's as good or better than the first half, we'd be looking at a pretty strong 2025 for Xbox. And if this is the kind of pace that they could finally keep up the promise they've been making, which is pretty much a game a quarter, so every 3 months, a big game and smaller games in between, they need a steady drip, a steady feed. If they're finally about to turn that corner and do that, and these games actually hit and land well, it could be a great time in the future here for Xbox and a decent turning point in 2025. But anyways, guys, let us know what you think down in the comments below. Here at Xbox Reforged, we're pretty excited for 2025 when it comes to Xbox and the titles that are on the way, both this year and next year. And it looks like, hopefully anyway, we're going to be coming out of what I consider a drought for really a lot of the consoles, even for my Switch, my PlayStation 5, my Xbox. It's honestly been a little bit dry, and hopefully this is a turning point for them. I'd love to see PlayStation come back with some great titles as well, because I think they need some, and Switch 2 coming is going to help with that. And now here it's Xbox's turn to hopefully step up and start giving us those games on a decent pace, at a decent pace for us anyway. So anyways, guys, thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. As always, we really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one.